tricks of the trade. First, Hudson and Halls tempt the taste buds with a saucy serving of homemade pasta.
Welcome everybody at home and everybody here in our audience.
I agree with you entirely. Welcome.
We have a wonderful guest for you today. She's a lady who's done a lot of musical comedy and a lot of musical shows in the West End. Her name is Marti Webb.
And we're going to cook for her tonight, and of course for you here and you at home. We're going to make handmade pasta for you and 3 very fattening sauces.
Now, as Peter said, we make the pasta first because that's easiest. Now, you can make it by hand if you want to, but what we're going to do is actually make it in a food processor. But before that, I'll just top up my glass. Little Rioja doesn't do any harm for the one's throat. You need it, you know, when you're doing this. Lovely. Now, what we put in here is 2½ cups of plain... 1½ cups of plain flour. Now, you do normally use the sort of flour that you'd use in bread making, which is a hard flour. But for this, you can use any unbleached flour that you might have in your cupboard for these small quantities, because it really works very well. You need then a teaspoon of salt, and also it goes into it 2 teaspoons of oil. Now, you can use vegetable oil, you can use olive oil, or you could use any simple oil, but certainly not sump.
As if they would.
Well, they might. You never know, Pete. You can't trust them.
I love these cooking shows. They're so comfortable and easy to do.
And finally, the main ingredient in any pasta, or good pasta, is fresh eggs. So 2 fresh eggs go into here as well. Now, what you actually do, you can add water, hopefully not, but you want to get it to a consistency which is just smooth and goes to a ball. I'll show you. Bear with me on this. Now, you see this now, that's the consistency it should go to. It's sort of a damp dough without being too wet. You can add a touch of water to it.
No comment.
But add... Got the spoon gone. Magnetised, what did they tell me? Just put a tiny touch of water if you want to, but not too much. Just until it goes into a ball. Right. Now, you see there, all you need to do with this is then put it out like that onto there and just pull it into a dough. Peter, would you mind helping me and taking this away from me, please?
No.
You're rotten.
Hello. It's only I wanted camera space. How do you do? How are you? Always wanted to be on television. Goodbye.
There you got your chance. He's like that all the time. Half difficult to work with. A double act. Anyway, just dust that with a little bit of flour.
Bring a chair in next time.
Dust that with a little bit of flour. Do that into a ball like that. Put it in some of that... Oh, I knew he'd do that. He'd have to get his own back. Do it into a ball. Put it in some of that cling wrap and keep it in a cool place for about an hour. Now, I've got some already. Anybody want this one? I'll give it to you after, dear. I've got one here that I left there an hour ago. And what we're going to do now is use this machine. Now, this is a pasta machine, which is very simple to use. You can actually do it by hand if you want to, but you'll find it easier and smoother with the pasta machine. That's not so I get dirty. Just cut off about 1/3. Cut this into thirds. Put some flour on here because I'm going to use a bit of that later on. It's like snow, isn't it? Or dandruff. Set these rollers to the widest point on the machine and just roll it through like this. And this, what the action of this does is to knead the dough and saves you doing it by hand, which really you need arms like a navvy if you're going to do it by hand. I'll tell you that now. That's why you get a lot of Italian people, a lot of Italian women who are quite strong. Like that, you know.
Could you get on?
I am. Oh, sorry, Pete.
Thank you.
Then, when you've got it to a certain stage where it's elastic, I'll do another piece, but I'll give that bit to Peter so he can do show you how to do it by hand.
How kind. Now, it's lovely to be with you. Now, that's a piece of pasta that David so kindly gave me. I'll just put a little flour on this, This is just, if you haven't got one of those machines, you can do it by hand, make that by hand. It takes a little longer, but just roll a piece out as David's given me here. Oh, just roll that out to a thickness about that thickness. Very hard to show that on camera, but as you yourself want it. Don't use too much flour in this process when you're using, and just very carefully roll this up like a Swiss roll.
Why do they call them Swiss rolls?
Because they come from Switzerland.
Oh.
And then cut these. You most probably have to discard that. Oh, I didn't flour it. Just a moment. I've gone all wrong. God, I've just got on.
See, it serves you right for interrupting me and coming having a go at me when you can't even do it properly yourself.
Were you invited here?
No.
Good. I wish you'd go. Just cut this into little circles like this, and then quietly, lovely wet pastry, quietly undo these into little, I know it's not going to work. Just take your time. I should have put a little more flour on the top there and on the roller, but just open these out. Normally I'd do the same as David, have a tea towel here, lightly floured, unroll these and leave these to dry. So you can roll this actually thinner than I really have done there, as you can see. So take a little time with it, make sure they're very dry, and these will cook superbly. Somebody said, why are you bothering to make it by hand when you can buy it? Well, you can, but you're only talking here a couple of cups of flour and a couple of eggs, as opposed to quite a considerable cost in the shops.
Now, I've rolled that through the widest rollers there, and again, to make it easier, I'm going to cut this into 3 again. This is just 1/3 of that piece of cut into 3, like that. Now, you set the rollers halfway between the 2 notches, the lowest and the highest.
Did your hair.
Shut your mouth! And then...
Only trying to be neighbourly.
Then you just do it again like that. Now, set the roller to the last size, right down. Now, because I've done this and it really is flexible, you see how much it will lengthen?
Track old ham.
And at that stage, you've got enough there to do... Now, if you use it at this stage, then it's going to be like, oh, Pete, lasagna, right? Cut it up into short strips.
Not lasagna, not Italian.
So do this piece, the other piece here. Now, I'll do this straight from scratch because it is fairly nice and flexible. All right. Just put it onto a tea towel, dry tea towel, dust it with a little flour and dust a little bit more flour over it, because that's going to leave it to dry for a second, and then we're going to cut that up into lasagna. Now, what shall we do now?
I'd like to leave this for a minute before I get on with that and welcome our fabulous guest. Ladies and gentlemen,
Marti Webb.
Oh, right now. It's lovely to have you here.
It's lovely, it's so true.
Marti, it's lovely to have you here. You're so busy and in work everywhere. How do you remember, I can't remember this recipe. How do you remember all the words of all the shows you're in?
I take them one at a time. You sure that I'm in? That's
Yes,
fine.
yes.
Otherwise, I always get frightened if someone says, you've got to do this show now. And it's one I haven't done for a long time. I think, oh, where are the words?
Yeah. But then does it come back again?
Yes, I think once you start to do it, it just falls into place.
Of course.
Rather like this.
And Marti, you've got a dog, and
right.
a budgigar, and unusually in England, a cockatiel.
That's right.
Because
nice
I've got
yellow
2
one.
cockatiels, Millie and Trevor.
Oh, mine's called Tufty, for obvious reasons.
Oh,
yes,
Have you ever seen a
cockatiel?
cockatiel? It's got a little tuft on
Yes.
it.
Does it
And I've got
talk?
12 budgies.
No.
The 12
12
apostles,
budgies?
yes, they're the 12 apostles. Well, I had 12, but I've actually down to 10, because the cat was actually hungry.
I'll do this.
You're good
now.
on pasta.
Now, you like Italian food?
Yes.
Someone said, but there's certain foods you don't like.
Yes, Indian food, curries.
Yeah,
Find them
because
too
of the
hot.
spices?
Yes.
Yeah. You look that sort.
What, Indian food?
No, that you don't, you look calm and whatever, Indian spices
Cats
that might
don't
get
eat curry.
Oh.
Marti, I'm going to do this now and go through here. So I'll change it over. It's better than face powder, love. Go through here. Now, what I want you to do is take this piece off when it comes out there and put it on it. You won't need 2 hands, you'll have to probably use 1. Now, these are the cutting blades to cut it into fettuccine that Peter did by hand, but we're going to do it by machine.
Oh, yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Here she goes. Now, you just lie that down on there. Good girl. And then we do the other half, this one as well.
It's fun, isn't it?
This is a long one. Well, you drop some. Never mind, we'll pick that up later, don't worry. Now, this cooks very, very quickly because it's homemade pasta. If you're doing it at home, it will only take about 2 minutes to cook in plenty of boiling salted water. Now, what we would do with that normally, Marty, is just leave that there or hang it over the back of a chair and leave it somewhere to dry so it dries nicely, because that then, as I say, we can cook very, very quickly.
Right.
Now, you've got the same, have you? Look, I tell you what, would you like to go away and sort of get your hands dried and everything
Yes.
else? Because you're going to sing for us later on, aren't you?
That's right.
And Peter will go on with the sauces.
Right, lovely.
We'll see you later
Thank
on.
you, dear.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Welcome along. Now, whilst David and Marty were doing that, which really is easy, it is handy if you've got somebody extra to help you there with the machine, because sometimes it can slip, I was meant to cut up for you here 3 slices of nice fatty bacon, 2 slices of ham, and I was going to saute theirs, but as they did their bit so quickly, I've managed to do 1 slice of bacon and 2 slices of ham. So imagine this is more than it should be. What I've done here is I've heated some oil and some butter in this pan. I'll turn the gas up now. Turn this up to fairly high. Just bring this to a nice frothy boil. This is oil and butter, just a little quantity like that. Add this into the butter, and I'm going to saute this ham and bacon for about 3 or 4 minutes, just till it's cooked. Don't do it over terribly high heat. Just let it cook and shimmer, shall we say, cooking, so that it's just a nice, moist texture.
Pete, while that's cooking, can I interrupt?
Yes, you'll no doubt
You know how at Christmas time you used to get stuff it was put over the Christmas tree?
No.
And then they stopped you selling it because it had a lot of lead in it. Well, we found this used for the pasta machine too. Put it on a spaghetti one. Then you got your decorations for nothing.
So I'm leaving those to saute, and I'll get on with the next thing. I've got a poll here, unfortunately, because I've got an appalling memory. It says here to mix parmesan and egg. Oh, I know what I'm doing. So that says parmesan cheese. So note this one. It's about 3/4 of a cup of parmesan cheese. Oh, I don't know why I came in. Which goes into a bowl like that. Now, this is the start of the carbonara. So this is the bacon and the ham we're doing. And into this goes 3 eggs. Oh, it's not, told you. Nothing, I'm minding my own business. So 3 eggs into that, and then that's mixed round well, and this is put aside to go with the...
You've got shells all over the floor.
It's the chook, it got in the back door. So just mix that one round like that. So now that's the Parmesan cheese and 3 eggs, and I'm just putting that aside. I've got to remember all this. Bring this one back. And I'm going to do, I think I'm supposed to do the garlic next, but never mind, cameras, I'm getting there. This is some unsalted butter. Now, I'm adding to this, as it says there, more Parmesan cheese, because we are cooking Italian here. Mix this round with a spoon. Again, very well. I should have used a wooden one there, because it's got a rougher back to it.
Impossible.
And
We'll
about...
be up to our armpits and stuff later on if you keep going like this.
I'm standing on a stool, it doesn't worry me. That's 1/4 cup of cream, the Parmesan cheese and the unsalted butter. Again, it's better to mix that with a wooden spoon because it's rougher, and that goes aside till later on. Shift the bacon. Bring this pan to the front. Move that back. Now, we're also going to do another thing here. I've got about 1/3 of a cup of virgin oil. Now, virgin oil is the first pressing and is a beautiful oil, very delicate. But I'm going to add to this 6 cloves of garlic, I hope. I'll do 2 at a time to cut the time down. Now, all I'm doing, I want to imbue the oil with the flavour of the garlic. I don't actually want the garlic. So this is part of another sauce for David's fettuccine. Oh, fettuccine, it's gone all over my shoe now. So, oh, I wish I had a maid.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
I hate that program. But I'm not too keen on this one at the moment. So all I'm doing here is I'm sauteing... Oh, we'll get rid of that. I don't want it again.
Marti's got to come on here.
Just never mind. She won't. I'll get it all out the way. So just over a moderate heat here now. Just let this garlic simmer in this oil, but be very careful because it'll burn quite quickly. Leave this just to imbue that garlic through the oil. This is just the plain oil. Here at the back, I've got sauteing the bacon and the ham in the butter and oil. That's all but ready, and these have become part of these sauces eventually for David's fettuccine.
He got there, he actually got there. I'm amazed. Now, as you see, we're quite can you smell the garlic? It pongs, doesn't it?
Oh, it's lovely.
You'd all have to eat it before you go home. Now, all we do with this, with the pasta, as I say, because it's fresh and it doesn't take a lot of cooking, put it in as big a pot as you can. I've divided, that one quantity has made all this. And put it in here with a little bit of oil, and the oil or butter stops the water bubbling over. Bring it to a nice boil, cook it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then just drain them. Oh, they're heavy.
Oh.
I thought it was light. Now, just drain them. You don't have to rinse them. Oh, I better get that bit out. Now, just shake off some of the excess water there. And what we're going to do is keep it in a steamer to keep it hot, because it's essential when we get to serve it that this remains hot, and it's hot at the moment. So, as I say, about 2 to 3 minutes, and it's virtually just cooked. Now,
Something wrong.
then we put it into a steamer, which I've
got
just
the
put on
recipe
now.
upside down.
And also it will help drain it, but it will keep it nice and hot for later on when we come to serve it. Right, so that's all I actually do. Let's have a rest, Pete.
Let us enjoy really
Yeah,
the highlight of this evening, the highlight, our fabulous guest. Please welcome Marti Webb.
Somebody loves me. I wonder who he could be. Somebody loves me. I wish I knew. Who can he be? Worries me. For every guy who passes by, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be my loving baby. Somebody loves me. I wonder who. Maybe it's you. For every guy that passes by, I shout, hey, maybe you were meant to be my loving baby. Somebody loves me. I wonder who. Maybe, just maybe, it's you. I could cry salty tears. Where have I been all these years? Little while, tell me now, how long has this been going on? There were chills up my spine, and some thrills I can't define. Listen, sweet, I repeat, how long has this been going on? Oh, I feel that I could melt into heaven. I'm high. I know how Columbus left, finding another one. Kiss me once, then once more. What a dance I was before. What a break, for heaven's sake. How long has this been going on? past the spoon going
Come and join us, Marty. Ladies and gentlemen, Marti Webb.
We
That's a
enjoyed that.
lovely song. Lovely.
That was from your Gershwin album, wasn't it?
That's
Now,
right.
put
so,
this
I
on
guess
again.
so.
You know the old adage, sing for your supper? Here comes the real bit.
Right. Now we'll start this straight away. I'll give you about a third of this into this bowl. Should have cut them shorter, shouldn't I?
Yes, I know. But you can see that this machine, it's lovely pasta,
Right.
and it is. Now, this is the carbonara, excuse me, just a moment.
Right.
Now, this is bacon. We did
Put a bit more
bacon
in that
here. Bacon here. Could I ever get a word in sideways?
go on.
Bacon and ham. And this is the egg, and we did Parmesan cheese here and eggs. Now, what the principle of this is, everybody think, ooh, funny. Why we wanted the pasta to be so hot, if you wouldn't mind tossing that, the heat of the pasta will actually cook the egg to make the sauce. So if you give that a good toss to make sure it's cooked. Which one do you want? Do you want a sausage roll?
The next one we'll have, let's have the cream one. That was set
Right.
for a little while. Just put that over to one
I'll
side.
take that over here.
Yeah.
Oh, you are mad.
The bowls are meant to be hot.
Now,
Right.
this is the Parmesan cheese, the unsalted butter, and the cream. This is
mix
another
on
one.
Same spoon.
Get them out of the way, quick. Right, put that one aside, please.
Over there, he goes.
Don't hand me the red hot bowl. Same spoon and fork, just a minute. Now, this is just garlic and the oil. So this was to get the taste of the oil. But see the lovely colour that's come out
Yeah, it
green?
does.
I like parsley, so I'm going to do quite a bit of this. If you give that a nice toss, and
smells
away we go.
wonderful.
And
Now,
that's
here we
dinner.
go.
And
Right.
we
We'll
have-
serve this one up first because that's closest. So if you'd like to serve some on there.
But you can
Right,
see
that's the oil and
this
parsley.
feeds ample people. This has been made. And this is the, see what I mean? Come along,
the
David.
cream and parmesan.
It's like playing puddings, isn't it, at school? This
better
is the
than
cream
my
and parmesan, eh?
It's harder to get out.
And I'll
It's
just
a bit
give this a-
slippery.
I'll give this a
You're doing a
final.
wonderful job. Yeah, lovely. Looks super.
And
Bit
then-
more?
Oh,
Excuse me.
All right.
I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry about
I'll
it.
get rid of that one.
And finally, the carbonara.
Right.
But the egg will have actually set by the time we're ready to go. I'll have this. I'll have this. You could eat the garlic
Actually,
bread.
it's like the bacon and egg pasta of Italy, really. 'Cause that's
But it
what
is, it's really almost Italian bacon and eggs, isn't it? That's lovely. Never mind, we'll forgive that, won't we? I'll just wipe
Would
that
you
off.
like- would you like
Let us
that
go
one
into
with
the
the cream?
table.
Yes, it's
All right,
lovely.
we go to the table. We'll follow you.
After you, my dear.
Thank you.
Oh, the aroma.
Sit in the centre
The
there.
aroma. Let me fix your chair for you.
Thank you.
There we are. There we are. Now that's my carbonara with the egg, which you can see is nicely set now in the
is.
sauce. And then we've got there just the plain cheese and cream and butter, which is a lovely slimming sauce. Lovely and
And
slimming.
then this one, which is coming through, is just the garlic
wonderful,
and
yes.
just with the oil, rather, with the garlic in it, and then just that. But we also did just plain tomato with
lovely.
fresh chopped basil, just dressed with a little bit of virgin oil again and a tiny touch of lemon juice, which is
But Marti, thank you. We can't thank you enough. We know how
Thank
terribly
you.
busy you are. It's been a delight to have you on the show. Absolute delight.
And
Thank
you
you.
can
Thank you
cook.
again. And we'd like to thank our audience here, and we'd like to thank everybody at
Everybody at
home. Look after yourselves. God bless you. We'll
Till
see
we
you
meet
soon.
again.
Cheers.
Would you like to try a bit
Now
of this?
comes the real bit.
I'll give you
There
try
we
it
go.
out first. Right, a little bit of this. So I'd cut it short so it'd be easy to eat. So that's the one with garlic if you want to make friends.
I won't help you this, but it isn't quite set. Well, 3 eggs is too much in that quantity.
This is lovely. You want to do this?
One more parsley?
No.
Like some more parsley.
Yeah, like with the parsley.
Some of that.
Oh, yeah, I'll have a flavour. Thank you so much.
A little more.
No, that's fine.
What we'd normally do...
Just perfectly cooked.
Oh, done. Yeah. That's only 3 minutes. It's quite enough. But we do sincerely mean we appreciate you coming on.
Peter and David will be back on Monday at the same time with